at October 21st, 2014. I just want to talk a little bit about my adoptive daughter, who was born October 19th, 1973. At that time in my life, I was going to Ursuline High School, and I met a girl in Ursuline High School. We were both in 9th grade, and immediately she was put up for adoption after birth. And back then, the times were in Catholicism to put their baby up for adoption so that she would be raised in a good home in Youngstown, Ohio. After that, I went to the service, and I was so filled with guilty feelings that I swore to myself I would never do that to a woman again, make that same mistake in getting a girl pregnant. For I didn't have the means to get married if I did, and I wanted to get married and have children, but at the time in the Navy, I was very good in electronics, and I was in the Navy for 6 years. Went through some good training and was an excellent sub-hunter on the surface. After I got out of the Navy, I desired to go to college, very much so, because I signed up early in the Navy to receive the old GI Bill. And when I got out of the Navy in 1981, I was looking for a job in electronics in Youngstown, Ohio, and was told that nothing was in the radius within 60, 70 miles of job offerings. So I drove to Cleveland every day, Solon, Ohio actually, from Youngstown, Ohio, and was troubleshooting CAT scanners and digital RMI and MRIs, magnetic resonance imaging. From there, I worked 2 years, and I went to field service for a company called Telzon, and I still yearned to go to college, but I was in field service at Telzon, and we started a project, LogMARS, barcoding everything in the military. Everything was prototype and brand new, and it still wasn't serving my college needs because I was on the road constantly. So from there I went to San Diego, California, worked on submarines, on their passive sonar arrays, and still yearned to go to college, but I couldn't find a local job or anything that would pay me that I didn't have to go to field service to be a field engineer. So I quit that job, went back to Youngstown, went to Youngstown State University all the time, all the while wanting to get a good job, at least making $10 an hour in Youngstown so I could find my daughter. Even though the adoption records were closed, I knew that I would be able to find my daughter through the government, the local government of Youngstown, Ohio, Mahoney County, Ohio. I went to school for a couple of years studying calculus, physics, and chemistry, and to no avail was I able to find a job or to finish school. I ran out of money. So I took care of my father for 6 years, and after he died in the year 2006, my mother was ill, and I was a caregiver for her. Her name was Dolores. And after living with her a few years, I met my daughter in 2012, and the funny way I met her was I was going through a grocery store, Rulli Brothers, and in the banana section I was pointed out from the birth mother, Diane. Her sister told me I had good news for me. She had good news for me, and she pointed out that she found my daughter, and her name was April Topher. And I said, that's all I need. I had chills running up and down my spine as I speak now. I went home and searched Google and found out the place where April worked out of Berkeley, California, and I called there, and it was kind of a touch and go situation to where I didn't actually know what to do, but I took it step by step, and a woman called me back from a yoga place where April was working, and she said her name was April, and I told her that I was her father, and she was kind of hesitant. I was kind of hesitant after 39 years of wondering what kind of mistake I made, and all the while feeling guilty and not wanting to cause any more harm to any woman in all that time. So we emailed back and forth, correspondence, and I showed her a few websites that I made of loco photos with my picture, and over time, that was over about 6 or 7 months, I finally met her in October of 2012. The funny thing about meeting her and getting her name off of Donna, the birth mother's sister, Diane, was it was on Good Friday, and it was a miraculous event on Good Friday 2012. And I am very religious, and I do pray to God every night, and there's some miraculous, magical things that have gone on in my life. So after meeting April in October, I was still hesitant on the connection. Come to find out, she had a doctorate, a PhD in transpersonal psychology, which is spiritual psychology, which I've mystically and metaphysically was interested all my life into the magical things and the wonders of God, and how we use our brain only 10%, and where the rest of the brain matter goes to, and in your subconscious, in the state of meditation, it reaches into the spirituality, which reaches into the infinite God. So you go from your mind, your body, to your subconscious, into your brain, in a state of meditation, into spirituality, to the infinite God that we know today. That's about it. I look forward to a great future with April, and we have connected seriously, and we correspond, and we've bonded. I've reached out, I've connected, I've engaged, and I bonded with my daughter. And she is 41 years old as of October 19th, 2014. And I feel very, very blessed. Thank you very much.